George C. Marshall was one of the most influential American military leaders and statesmen of the 20th century, whose remarkable career spanned over 4 decades, encompassing both world wars and the early Cold War era. Born on December 31, 1880, in Uniontown, Pennsylvania, Marshall was the youngest of 3 children in a middle-class family and attended the Virginia Military Institute, where he graduated in 1901 with a commission as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. Early in his service, he was assigned to posts in the Philippines and the United States, steadily developing a reputation for rigorous professionalism, attention to detail, and an exceptional ability to train and organize troops. During World War I, he served with distinction as a staff officer in France, coordinating complex operations and logistics for the American Expeditionary Forces under General John J. Pershing, particularly during the Meuse-Argonne Offensive, where his planning contributed to the success of one of the largest battles in American military history. In the interwar years, Marshall held various important positions, including instructor at the Army War College and aide-de-camp to Pershing, and eventually commanded the infantry school at Fort Benning, where he emphasized innovative training methods and leadership development. His insistence on merit over seniority and his keen eye for talent led him to mentor a generation of officers who would later command Allied forces in World War II. In 1939, President Franklin D. Roosevelt appointed him Army Chief of Staff, a role he held throughout the entire war. Marshall was responsible for expanding the U.S. Army from fewer than 200,000 men to over 8 million soldiers and for overseeing the production of vast quantities of equipment, weapons, and supplies essential to global warfare. He played a central role in shaping grand strategy with the British and in planning operations such as Operation Overlord, the D-Day invasion of Normandy, although he declined to command the invasion himself, believing his duty was to remain in Washington to coordinate the overall war effort. Respected by allies and adversaries alike for his integrity and strategic vision, Marshall became known as the organizer of victory. After the war, he retired from the Army but was soon called back to serve as Secretary of State in 1947 under President Harry S. Truman. Confronted with the devastation of Europe and the threat of Soviet expansion, he proposed the European Recovery Program, which became known as the Marshall Plan, an unprecedented economic assistance package that provided more than $13 billion to rebuild Western European economies, stabilize governments, and lay the foundation for transatlantic cooperation. In recognition of his efforts to promote peace and stability, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1953. Later, during the Korean War, he served as Secretary of Defense, where he supported the reorganization of the armed forces and upheld the principle of civilian control over the military during the crisis surrounding General Douglas MacArthur. Throughout his life, Marshall was admired for his modesty, refusing promotions or honors that he felt detracted from his sense of duty, and for his unwavering commitment to public service over personal ambition. He died on October 16, 1959, leaving an enduring legacy as both a military architect of Allied victory in World War II and as a visionary statesman whose policies shaped the post-war world and reinforced America's role as a leader of the free nations.